So these two fighting for a chance to have a crack at Paul Lloyd's British Bantamweight title. And this could be a very interesting fight indeed. It's the first significant test for this fellow, Noel Wilders, the 24-year-old from Castleford, Yorkshire. He's a smooth, neat boxing southpaw. But this fellow he's in with, the former British and Commonwealth flyweight champion Adey Lewis, a real firebrand and with a good record as a puncher, even up at this weight. It's a big chance too, Glenn, for Lewis to get himself right back into the shake-up, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It really should be a good matchup because the good clash of styles. You've got the boxer against the puncher. And, you know, if it works right, it could be an entertaining fight.
Let him go.
Look for Adey Lewis. He calls himself the mighty atom, to be crowding Wilders, to break him up with body punches, destroy his rhythm. Wilders, though, he's very adept at putting together smooth little combinations like that. He's no kind of puncher, can't really punch his way out of a paper bag, in all honesty. He's only got 3 early wins in his unblemished record of 14 straight victories, but he makes up for that with the skills, Glenn.
Yes, he does, but he really needs to be busy in this fight because Adey Lewis will really come at him. It'll be a constant pressure. So Wilders is going to have to be very sharp, very busy, and keep punching throughout.
Wilders, remember, in the grey trunks. He'll be looking to be very busy with that southpaw jab all the time to keep Lewis away.
Get out, Wilson, get out.
Adey Lewis's career had a big setback when he was stopped by David Gallo in a European title tilt. But this may not be such a demanding exercise as that for him, because Gallo looked class that night, real class.
Heads, both boxers.
Lewis only 4 feet 10.5 inches tall. He's Britain's smallest pro. He's one of the smallest in the world, but not quite the tiniest. That's baby Jake McLala.
But Wilders is looking to get that sharp southpaw jab going. He's falling short and just missing with it a few times. Occasionally he gets a few punches together, they're connecting, but Adey Lewis is often difficult to hit, very short, and comes in a crouch, which makes it even harder to get to him.
Just remember, a final eliminator for the British Bantamweight Championship. So it goes the full 12 rounds.
Right!
If it lasts that long, of course. That's good work by Wilders. Just the sharper work maybe by Wilders in the opener. Welcome back to the Ipswich Corn Exchange live boxing for you tonight. And you're watching a final eliminator with some neat boxing from Noel Wilders in this final eliminator for the British Bantamweight title, and with the former British and Commonwealth flyweight champion Adey Lewis. They're both 24 years of age. Wilders 4 months, the senior man. But he's had less fights.
Well, Wilders getting the better of the first round, but already showing that he has to work very hard. And Adey Lewis is a tough man to keep at bay.
And Lewis has already sustained a little bit of damage to his nose, I think. They were working away at that in the corner.
Well, I think it maybe Lewis expects to lose a few rounds early on. He'll be looking for his work rate, his strength to tell later in the fight. And I think that's where we really get an idea of how good Noel Wilders is.
He's the sort of operator who's always going to have to do things the long way round, reliant totally on his skills. At the top level, you can't really expect him to be knocking anybody out. It's good work from him, though.
A sharp combination that did seem to fluster Lewis a little bit, and that's where he could do a little bit of damage just with sharp punches.
Right! Step back.
Lewis only one defeat in his career against Guerrero, and Wilders unbeaten so far. The height difference between them is 7 inches. Significant advantages then for Wilders. As long as he can keep the fight at range, he's managing to do that by and large so far, Glenn.
See, even at times his work's a little ragged, he's still getting on. If he misses with the southpaw jab, he's coming back with that straight left. But he's having his best success when he puts 2 or 3 together.
More blood again from the nose of Adey Lewis, who's finding it hard really to strike a rhythm so far. Just being outboxed at range by Wilders.
Just to walk forward, Lewis, but he's been caught as he comes in. He needs to just move his head a little bit, try and get a bit more rhythm, and start letting punches go himself.
He's not really getting any shots off, is he? He's doing a lot of walking, but not much punching.
Yes, it's good pressure with the feet from Lewis, but that's not what gets you points. You've got to start letting the punches go.
Going the way of Noel Wilders. But he's going to have to work for this, you feel. Welcome back to Ipswich. Let's see what the computer is having to say about things after we have a look at this action. Here it is.
Yes, good. Just good from Wilders, getting his punches off. A little combination of 3 punches. First one being covered up, and then getting through with the other 2. Decent work.
Third round. Although Adey Lewis had his championship successes at flyweight, interestingly, when he's fought at 8 stone 3 or above, he's won 12 and drawn 1 in his career and scored over 20 knockdowns. Wilders has never had anybody on the floor. Tells you something about the difference in power. So if Lewis can get there and can start to get some solid-looking punches off, who knows? It could change.
But I think also reading into that, Ian, that it's flyweight is where Lewis has fought his best opponents. At bantamweight, the opponents not quite as good.
Yes, he outpointed Keith Knox and Mark Reynolds and stopped Peter Coleshaw in 8 rounds in what was easily the best performance of his career, Adey Lewis. Very slippery as well, though, isn't he, Wilders? He's hard to catch cleanly. Maybe a little underrated. He's a pretty well kept secret, really.
Yes, it's difficult pinning him down. He's also boxing out of the southpaw stance. Makes it a little difficult to get to. And I think that's proven the case for Lewis.
Adey Lewis had trouble with Guerrero, who was also a southpaw in that European title fight. But he was very gambling.
still. The pressure's good from Lewis, and that is going to take an awful lot out of Wilders, who's got to work hard to keep him off.
He's doing that there with some ease. Adey Lewis looks like a bank robber who doesn't know the combination to the safe.
He's getting a distance. He's either not getting the shots off or he's missing quite wildly, Lewis.
But with these tactics, maybe the later stages of the fight will be his territory.
I'm sure that's the game plan. I expect he expected that. He knew it's going to be difficult to pin down a boxer. He'll be looking to do his better work as the rounds go on.
Just getting a little closer, Adey Lewis. One or two signs of minor swelling around the cheekbone of Wilders, nothing much.
Well, you would expect at some point he's going to have to get drawn into a fight, Wilders, and really that's where the test will be.
More live Speedway for you. Thursday night action from the Elite Speedway League, Ipswich against Hull, and coming on Sunday morning, live Superbike action from San Marino. It's round 7 of the World Championship, so live Speedway and live Superbikes for you this week on Sky Sports. Tonight, live boxing, Starry Baker after the conclusion of Wilders against Lewis with Glenn and Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. 4th round, and Noel Wilders dominating this final eliminator for the British Bantamweight title thus far. He's the one in the grey trunks. It's a Yorkshire-Lancashire battle, this. War of the Roses, if you like, with Adey Lewis in the black trunks being from Bury.
Well, looking for a big left hook to the body and a big roar going up from the Lewis fans, but still not connecting that clean. Getting a little closer at times, but he needs to start landing with combinations, Lewis, to have an effect.
Southpaw jab, but there's a long, long way to go. He's trying to force Lewis back with some of these shots, keep him away from him. Lewis has to just shake off the suspicion too that maybe the best moments in his career are already in his past.
Well, he's still just 24 years of age, so you'd still think there's plenty of boxing left in Adey Lewis, but I think it's very important for him to get a victory here.
He does hit hard, though. With his 16 wins, 12 have come early. More blood from the nose of Lewis. He's had that trouble from the first round. But it is the old bull and matador confrontation again, isn't it, this?
Yes, it is. When he gets working behind the jab, throwing his combinations and moving, he looks quite good, Wilders, and is catching Lewis quite easily. But I think one of the things he shouldn't do is start standing still, looking to try and trade with Lewis.
Does look to have a good boxing brain, I've always thought, Wilders. And I would be surprised if he did try to get into that kind of toe-to-toe argument with Adey Lewis. He seems to know exactly what the correct strategy should be, and By and large, he's carrying it out to some effect so far, winning just about every round, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yes, I've given him every round so far. There's too many single punches, even still, from Lewis. But Wilders is letting his go in combinations and little clusters, and that's much better for him.
Wilders is round again. He's doing well so far. Imposing his style. Let's take a look at the British bantamweight scene. Paul Lloyd is the champion, despite his demolition recently on the international stage by Marco Antonio Barrera. This is our idea of how we see the bantamweight scene. Adey Lewis we've got at 2, Noel Wilders at 4. There's Francis Ampopo still there on the scene as well, and the others hoping that they can get up there into the top 3 or so. Big fight, this one, for both of them.
Wilders still getting the best of it on the back foot, just looking with the good counters and a couple of good left hands, jolting the head back of Adey Lewis. Still got the eye-catching punches. Yeah, good combination, just catching Lewis on the way and 2 good left hands, just pushing Lewis back.
So here's the 5th round. Will there be a change in the pattern here? Or will Noel Wilders continue to boss affairs behind his raking southpaw lead? Let's have a look at the Glenn McCrory scorecard.
Well, I've got it pretty emphatic. Everything so far going to Wilders. Just better boxing. He's controlling. He knows exactly what to do, and he's doing it quite well.
Good left hand, particularly there from Wilders. Lewis didn't seem to see that one. And he's catching everything. His eye damage is around out for Lewis by the look of it. The problems are mounting up for him here. And the task is beginning to look a shade mountainous. John Keane, by the way, from Northampton is the referee, an official who's had a number of high-profile appointments this year, including Oscar De La Hoya and Ike Quarte. And he was one of the judges. Yes, he's damaged by the left eye, Adey Lewis. These jabs are taking their toll.
He has good punches on the defensive from Wilders, keeping his cool under this pressure from Lewis. Lewis pressuring with the feet, but being caught square on as soon as he gets close to Wilders, and Wilders capitalising on that.
And so far, Wilders' performance a credit to his pretty unfashionable trainer, Michael Marsden, and manager Trevor Callaghan. They've thought about this, and you have to say, they're getting it right.
Right! Step back both.
Maybe just one punch from Adey Lewis could spin things on their head here. Maybe.
There's been nothing in Wilders' career so far to show that he can take a good one. He always looked at a decent chin.
Mind you, he's pretty hard to catch, isn't he?
He's very hard. It's good movement, giving Lewis lots of angles, and then quick with the counters. Working very well. Lewis finding it difficult to get out of the way of that punch.
He's just looking a shade dispirited to me, Adey Lewis. Looks like a character in search of a plot, doesn't he? Good body shot from him there. That's where he needs to be, close enough to land those kind of punches. But as you said, Glenn, they're just single shots, aren't they?
Too many single shots throughout from Lewis. Needs to do something different. It's the same all the way through for him, chasing. Maybe he needs to try something a little different.
Corner with Jack Doughty and Gene Hackman look-alike Pete Richards. Well, he does look like him, doesn't he? We keep saying that.
There's a good left hand, excuse me, from Wilders. Just put that one right through the guard. Look at the jabs landed, 68 to Willis to just 5 for Lewis, and that really does bring home how many single shots that Lewis has landed.
Well, some people knock the number of statistics that there are in sport these days, but that was a very telling one, wasn't it, from the computer boffins sitting along from us. 68 to 5 with the jab.
Round 6.
Here's round 6. It's been one-sided this so far, surprisingly one-sided. Noel Wilders boxing his way at the moment into British title contention. And if he wins this fight, he fully deserves his shot at Paul Lloyd. If, of course, Lloyd is going to carry on. You wonder about that a bit, too, after the way Marco Antonio Barrera knocked him around. Demolished him, really. Horrible fight that was.
Yes, it was. I'm sure he'll be back. He's a good professional. I don't think that took everything out of him. He'll still be there on the British and European scene.
Yeah, still effective at domestic level. Paul Lloyd. Wilders proving himself to be exactly that as well at the moment. Adey Lewis needs to do something, needs to step up the tempo, because if he does lose this fight, you just wonder where he can go, even at the age of 24. He used to be a bit of a wild child, Adey Lewis, earlier on in his career. He was a pretty poor trainer, he admits that. He used to shirk it sometimes, not turn up at the gym, but became more dedicated and picked up those British and Commonwealth flyweight crowns.
And this must be starting to get very frustrating for Lewis. He's missing the punches. He's been caught when he gets close to Wilders, and this is a little tough for him.
The only good news I can think of for Adey Lewis is that this is a 12-rounder.
Well, you would think it is, but I mean, as it goes on, Wilders is keeping cool, relaxing more, and catching Lewis even more. Well, Lewis with some good left hands in this round.
He's boxing neatly on the back foot at times as well. Wilders giving it a little bit of lateral movement.
Step back.
Looks to have a refrigerator somewhere up there in that boxing brain of his.
Lewis working hard, trying to get to the body, trying to weaken Wilders with heavy body punches, but as yet there's no sign that that's becoming effective.
Lewis has not been able to make a single dent so far. Now, he's going to have a look at the cuts. There's more damage by the eye, and this could be the end of it.
Yes, he's got cut over the right eye
He's got
now.
another cut. He's suddenly opened up, cuts over both eyes. This might be terminal damage for Adey Lewis in this fight. I think John Keane will try to give him every chance, but no, he won't. It's over. Adey Lewis is stuck, and he drop kicks his gum shield into the crowd in frustration. He's distraught, but it was a smooth boxing display by Noel Wilders, who now moves on to get a shot at the British Bantamweight Championship held by Paul Lloyd of Ellesmere Port, and he deserves it.